Hey everyone, it's Matt Williams from MPW. Welcome to the video. So today we are taking a look at the CAT-2 rating on the PilotEdge network from a non-towered and uncontrolled airport at New Cuyama in California, about 50 nautical miles away to San Luis, which is inside its own Class D airspace. We're going to get 2 ACOMs with them and then get clearance to land from there. So let's dive on into X-Plane, take a look. I'll be doing full aircraft checks on this one and running through my thought process en route as well.
I'm Matt Williams, Mr. MPW. Join us as we take to the skies in various flight simulators using different plugins, different technology, different things to learn how to fly safely and efficiently.
Okay, so you join us here at New Cuyama, just getting everything set and us ready to rock and roll. No other traffic around at the moment. We are connected to PilotEdge. In fact, I'll say there's no other traffic around. There is one other aircraft here, but they're not talking on the radio yet. Just walking you through what I've got set before we taxi out. 122.9, which is New Cuyama traffic. The CTAF frequency in the top of box 1 with 124, which is the tower, ready to go for San Luis when we get there. I've got guard in the top of box 2, so we'll be monitoring guard once we get airborne. In fact, I'll pop the guard monitor on now because we are at a fairly remote location as it is. I've got 120.6 in the standby window in COM2, sorry, which is the ATC frequency for San Luis. So when we get airborne and we're en route, I can punch over to that. Again, getting as much done as we can on the ground, so don't have to worry about it once we are airborne. Free up as much capacity as we can. I've also set the Fellows VOR in the top of Nav 1 because that is en route for us, so it's quite good to have any en route kind of nav aids available to you just in case you need them. And I've also set up the Winner Whiskey Yankee November Romeo, the reporting point, which is kind of en route between ourselves at New Cuyama and San Luis Airport. So we're actually going to route New Cuyama, Winner, and then to San Luis. It's about 50 nautical miles in total. It'll take about 25 minutes or so once we're airborne. Now, it would make sense here with the wind calm as it is to go out on runway kind of 28 because that's pretty much bang on our first heading. However, there's no real kind of taxiway here, so rather than backtrack all the way along a narrow runway, I'm actually going to take off on runway 10, which is just ahead of us and to the right here. A very short taxi out and get ourselves airborne, and then a left-hand turn out to go en route. So we are all set, and I will release the brakes and get ourselves taxiing. Like I say, we are going to run through a lot of the checks as well on this one, just so we can do everything properly. So taxiing, checking the brakes are good, coming around to the right, and wings dip to the right, ball is out to the left, compasses are free to move, increasing all round. Keep an eye on that aircraft, make sure they don't taxi out, and give ourselves some room as we go. Cool, and as always I've got my 3 screens set up so I can look around. I won't be panning the view around. As I come to left, wings up to the left, balls out to the right, compasses decreasing, DI decreasing, free to move, which is good. Okay, I'm going to get ourselves set so that we can see the kind of approach and the base leg, and so I can see the other side as well, so just so I get a good look out all around. So we're stopping ourselves just here, setting 1000, nose gear straight, flight controls, check that they are full and free, and a good look out all around. They're all good. Fuel selector is set to on and set to both. We are clear behind, throttle set to 1700. Which we have about there. Temperature pressures are all good on that. We've got good vacuum suction coming across to the magneto. Slight drop there, and back to both, and restored onto the right mag. Slight drop there, back to both, and restored. Bring the throttle to idle. Minimum 500. Once it's stabilised, which we have, and back to 1000, which we've got set there. Avionics wise, they're pretty much all set. Set 10 on here just for the runway, although we are there and I can see it on the threshold. 10, cross checks with the compass at 190, that's nice. Altimeter is set and everything else is looking good with no flags. Cool, quite a long runway here, so any problems on the departure, I will, there's room ahead and it's safe and suitable to do so, put the aircraft down, we'll deal with the emergency on the ground. After that, will be up. Any power loss or major malfunctions between the ground and 700 feet, I'll be landing somewhere ahead, and then after that it'll be a turn back to the left, back towards the airfield. If I'm able to, I'll take the emergency up and around, and we'll enter a left-hand circuit to deal with the emergency as we see fit, and continuing if we deem it safe to do so. So good look out all around. We got the flaps. I'm going to bring the flaps down to 10, and they are down and indicating on both sides. Trim is set for takeoff. I've got the transponder 1200 set to alt. Takeoff brief completed. Base and final is all clear on both sides. Can't see anyone else around. Still can't hear anyone on the runway. All the lights are on. Fuel pump is on. Wind is still calm and transmitting. New Cuyama traffic. Skyhawk 714 Golf Zulu. Lining up runway 10, left hand turn out for a departure to the west, New Cuyama. Cool, continuing that good look out as we go. We are clear all around. Runway is clear, 10 on the numbers. We're looking for 10 as we turn left on the DI. And we'll be looking for 10 on the compass as well. Which we have on all three. Cool, lining up. And power's coming in. RPM's good. Temperatures and pressures are good, and airspeed is alive. Let's get back on that centre line. Waiting for 55. And it's 55. Quite high up here at New Cuyama, and it's quite warm today, so performance down a little bit potentially on normal. Temperature pressure all good. RPM's good. Clear of all the obstructions, and the flaps coming up. And indicates, visually checks, and that's good. Accelerating to about 74 and climbing out. Temperature pressure still good in the climb, and the RPM is good. Looking good at the moment. So about 280 for that first heading out of here. I will come round to the left. We are clear all around. Come round to the left. Fuel pump's going off now. Watch that airspeed. Bit of trim would help. There we go. Temperature pressure remain good. Squawking and talking. Cool. Okay, so we can bid adieu to New Cuyama now. Rolling out. This is us nicely on track now. I have got a clock running down here. I've also got 4Flight running on the iPad, which is helping as we go. I'll start a cruise climb, so just happy to let that speed accelerate slightly now. 3 knots headwind, but all looking nice. We're going to climb up for a cruise climb at 6,500 feet, and just dip the nose to see ahead of us. And out here we've got good check features really. Valley off on the left hand side. We're going all the way to the head of the valley, and there'll be a left turn. Pretty much takes us all the way to Winner actually. Winner will be somewhere off here in the distance at the end of the valley, and then it's a slight left turn to Sal Luis. 2,500 feet to go in the climb, so that's all looking nice. We've got the aircraft configured now. Direct track to Winner, that's showing as we'd expect. We've got the Fellows VOR, which is going to be off to the right hand side somewhere. Let's find out which radial we're on. We can keep a track on that as we go. And now we can get ourselves set for a nice cruise climb rather than pegging the engine all the way. And that's it. So next event, I guess, join us as we approach Winner. I'll do my checks before we get to that turning point, as we get to the turning point, and then we can start to look ahead. Okay, so you're joining us now, just approaching Winner. the first kind of turning point, if you like. So my next track out of here is 277, which I've set up on the DI, cross-checking those compasses, which is good. Altitude, I'm at 6,500 at the moment. I'm going to start a gentle cruise descent down to about 4,500 initially, and then further from there. So I'll do that shortly. Still got the fellows in the VOR, and other than that, everything's looking nice. Fuel, we got plenty. And the cross-check between the DI and the compasses is good. I've set San Luis now into the GPS as well, which means that it's pointing towards where we are going to go. I can put the Morro Bay 112.4 into the VOR, so 112.4 into nav1. So we've got that we're tracking. And let's just double check that she's pointing in a sensible direction, and we can get which radial we are from that now, and that is all looking about right. Get ourselves back on heading and a good look out as we go. Temperature pressure is all looking good, and the clock has been reset, and it's now about a 12-minute flight from here to San Luis. So a couple of things to think about. I'm going to start to get that cruise descent on actually as we're chatting away. So we already got ahead pretty much on the boxes, so I can now grab the ATIS just by punching across in box 2.
San Luis County Regional Airport, ATIS information echo, 1526 Zulu, wind 280 at 7, visibility 10, 2,300 scattered, ceiling 5,000 broken, 8,000 overcast, temperature 13, dew point 9er. Altimeter 010, arriving and departing runway 29er. Visual approaches in use. Read and call runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information echo.
Cool. Information echo. Just wait for it to start again to make sure there's
County Regional Airport,
nothing tagged on the end, which there isn't, and we're now back to monitoring guard again. So that's good. See, it's just really good to get ahead on that. So what I'm going to do now is punch across as well on the box 1. Just going to stop monitoring on that for a second. So again, punch straight across, because we set up San Luis Tower in box 1 in the standby window. It means we just go straight across 124.0 in there. We've got information echo. We're pretty much good to go. I'm going to put 121.6 in the standby window now, which is ground, and start monitoring San Luis Tower, and everything is looking nice. So we are what now, about 12 miles away, I would say, something like that.
San Luis ground, bearing November 18357.
There we go. So we can hear that there are people there, and that
There's no need to cold call a ground frequency. We're just waiting for you to come out with your request right away.
Okay, November 18357 at transit parking, San Luis with Echo. Let's do CAT-3.
Over 357 taking your aircraft height, and where are you parked?
Parked in the transit parking. We're a Baron BE58.
Okay.
Sir, 18357, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
29er via Alpha, 18357.
Ready, Mike Charlie, contact ground point 6. 46, ready, Mike Charlie, make sure that opens the CAT-3.
Cool.
November 13, Mike, taxi around via Charlie and hotel, stay on my frequency.
Taxi road, Charlie, hotel, remain gauge frequency, non-1 connect. Goodbye.
So again, a really good
Ground, 298, Mike Charlie, info.
a really good kind of demonstration, if you like, of why it's important to get ahead and start listening on the radios, so you can start getting that situational awareness. I know now that there's a Baron doing his CAT-3 rating, who is about to taxi out, so that's going to be someone who's going to be in the circuit as we get there. So about time to probably start thinking about getting a clearance to enter their Class D. We're about 10 miles from the edge of the Class D now.
Departure, release for departure, clearance is void if not off by 1715 Zulu, time now. Correction, clearance void if not off by 1615 Zulu, time now 1607. If off in the next 8 minutes, call back with your intentions no later than 1620. Frequency change approved.
One, 2, 4 we have.
Clarification, I can't clear you for departure, I can only release you.
Cool. And see if we can get in.
Sal Luis, ground station 298, Mike Charlie, Foxtrot, all 29. I can taxi you wherever you'd like while I set up the CAT-4. Number 298, Mike Charlie, straight ahead into the ramp on my frequency. Stay with you, straight ahead on the ramp, 8 Mike Charlie.
San Luis Tower, Skyhawk 714 Golf Zulu, 10 miles to the southeast, inbound, full stop with echo for the CAT-2.
Number 714 Golf Zulu, San Luis Tower, make straight in runway 29, report 3 miles.
Straight in runway 29, call 3 miles, 714 Golf Zulu. There we go, so we've got two-way comms with them now, and we've been cleared into their Class D.
7 Echo, you got the weather for French Valley yet?
And they've told us to call a 3 mile final for runway 29, so I'm going to displace over to the left ever so slightly, just to start getting ourselves to lined up. We're 10 miles away. I can start to see the airfield opening out in the valley just ahead of us, so that's all looking nice. And I'm going to keep the speed up now, and again continue this cruise climb down, because it's all looking good coming off the high ground here. It just means we haven't got to do some kind of crazy descent profile as we get closer. But other than that, we are pretty much good and set. We've got the next.
Altimeter 3008, and are you staying at 5500?
Got the next radio frequencies all set, so all looking good at the moment. Good listen out for other traffic.
San Luis Tower, November 18357, ready at 29 for pattern work.
November 18357, San Luis Tower, make left close traffic, runway 29er cleared for takeoff, wind 280 at 5, report on the midfield downwind each pass.
Left traffic, report midfield downwind each pass, 18357.
So, as far as I'm aware, that's that Baron that's going for his CAT-3, so he'll be doing 3 circuits from runway 2.
Charlie submitted the pass on the CAT-3, nice job. Roger that, thank you very much, Mike Charlie, I'm setting up the CAT-4 now, thanks.
So there's the runway over here. Okay, let's get some pre-arrival checks done then. So fuel is on, set to both, quantity is good, mixture, we're fully rich now. No carb heat on this aeroplane. I will bring the fuel pump on, and all the lights are on as required. Brakes are off, no undercarriage, and my harness is secure. Like I say, keeping that speed up a little bit, just because it is a fair slog in, and hopefully then we can keep it into the pattern and not interfere with the gentleman who is doing his CAT-3.
Calling SoCal taking call sign only. November 385, Juliet radar contact 2 east.
There we go. So I've got the threshold visual now over here. Still maintaining a good lookout as we go for other traffic.
95 Juliet, thanks.
And he wants us to call a 3 mile final. So I'm going to start reducing my speed now, getting everything nicely under control. I'm going to drop the monitor on COM2. Don't need to necessarily listen to that. It's just another thing to get in the way effectively. Altimeter set, and it's runway 29. So it's coming up about a 3 mile final now, so hopefully intercepted that quite nicely as I turn on. Doesn't look too bad on glide either.
Southwest 562, contact Los Angeles Center 128.6.
Just wait a sec.
San Luis Tower, 18357, midfield downwind 29.
Baron 357, runway 29 are cleared for the option.
Clear for the option, 18357.
Bring my speed back so we can get in. San Luis Tower, Skyhawk 714 Golf Zulu, 3 mile final, runway 29er.
Number 4 Golf Zulu, runway 29 are cleared to land, wind 280 at 5.
Cleared to land runway 29 at 714 Golf Zulu.
Bearing 357, traffic, you're following the 2-mile final Skyhawk. Do you have them in sight?
357 negative.
I'm
I'll
visual with
extend
him
my
now. Over here, so he's going to extend now. Again, this is why this platform is so good, because that's a good inject for him.
Number
Good
357,
inject for
what's
me.
your position now?
I was turning base. I'm about a mile south of the, off the base lane.
Roger, that Skyhawk's not a mile final.
357, I'll turn in behind him.
See if you feel that wind from the left, actually. Just looking out for that Baron.
Number 85, Juliet,
He's
contact
clear, that's
approach
good.
128.1.
Okay, he's got 2 stages of flaps in now. They are indicating, I can see those on both sides. Looking nice on the glide slope. Runway ahead is clear. Coming through
62,
about 500 feet.
Roger, Limburg,
We have been cleared to land. My toes are clear of the brakes. And the brakes are off. Just holding that speed a little bit just for the Baron to give him a little bit of space to be a lot faster than us. Starting to bring it back now though. Concentrating on our own approach. Just offsetting for that wind slightly from the left.
Final now, number 2.
65.
357 on the
Holding
Skyhawk,
at
over the number.
65. Got a little bit of flat.
Insight, 357.
Let's keep that speed on.
4 Golf
so
Zulu,
60.
no delay on the runway traffic, so Baron 1 mile final.
No delay, 4 Golf Zulu. There we go, so that's them asking us just to get out of the way when we get on the ground, which we were already aware of. There we go. Down. Whew.
Number 385,
Bit of
Juliet,
centre
SoCal
line would help.
John Wayne altimeter
Goodness me.
3008.
A lot of drift on, which I didn't expect given the...
9123 Mike Sierra, SoCal departure, release for departure, clearance void if not off by 1625.
Brakes
Zulu,
are
now
good.
1614, if on off in 11
Exiting
minutes.
the
Call
runway
back
here.
with your intentions no later than 1630. Frequency changes approved.
Echo.
November 4 Golf Zulu, thanks for your help. Contact ground point 6.
Ground point 6 for Golf Zulu. There we go, so they've pushed us across, which is good.
18357, we're doing a go around.
On to 1.6, which is good. Okay, so after landing checks, Baron
November 907 Echo, Roger, descend and maintain 4,000.
gave him as much room as we could, but just didn't quite make it in, unfortunately. So there we go. Right, so pump is off, flaps are up, transponder back to standby. It's probably the worst landing I think I've ever done in this simulator. Right, oh well, can't win them all, can we? San Luis ground, Skyhawk 714 Golf Zulu, holding short Echo, request taxi via Alpha to parking.
Number 714 Golf Zulu, San Luis ground taxi to the ramp via Alpha.
To the ramp via Alpha, 714 Golf Zulu. Cool, strobes go off, on lamp go off. Taxi lights go off, got someone ahead of us. So apart from the awful landing, where we almost went off the runway to the left, although to be fair my pedals moved on the floor. I'm actually in a temporary setup in the garage at the moment because of everything that's going on, and not in the normal kind of studio setup. So my pedals shifted and I was like, no, I can't get enough rudder in. But shouldn't make excuses.
5 Julie Golf at the terminal with Foxtrot, taxi for close traffic.
But apart from that guys and girls is pretty much how to run through the CAT-2 rating in PilotEdge as it stands at the time of the recording. If you've got any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the Discord for PilotEdge and PilotEdge ATC on all of the socials. And yeah, comments down below. Drop us an email if you've got any questions. Matt, M-A-T-T with 2 T's at MrMPW.com. More than happy to help, and I will see you in the next one, I guess. Yeah, that's it. It's been a pleasure. If you give the video a like if you did, give it a thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you in the CAT-3 rating. I've been Matt Williams. Fly safe. Blue skies.